How are you? Excellent.
I think it does. You could go in there, well.
I'm gonna find out what he gets from that.
What's the single most important thing you think the country needs to know about your uncle?
He's utterly incapable of leading this country. And it's dangerous to allow him to do so.
Based on what you see now or what you saw then?
Based on what I've seen my entire adult life.
What do you want to happen now?
This country is on a precipice. And we have a decision to make in the not too distant future about who we want to be and where we want to go as a country. It's hard for me to process just how many awful things are going on simultaneously on a daily basis. And people need to know. People need as much information as is available in order to make a decision that makes sense for our future as a country, as Americans, as citizens of the world, so to speak.
You do have one potentially explosive allegation in the book, at least one.
Mm-hmm.
And you write that when the president was trying to transfer from Fordham to Penn,
Mm-hmm.
he had someone else, a man named Joe Shapiro,
Mm-hmm.
take his SATs.
Yes.
This was 1964. How do you know that?
I've been told this by people in my family. I am absolutely confident that it's true. I'm happy to finally to be able to speak about it. I also know that it was not the Joe Shapiro people have been focusing on.
So it's, to be clear, it's not Pam Shriver.
No.
Pam Shriver, the widow
Right.
of Joe Shapiro, has come out publicly and said
Right.
he didn't meet Donald Trump until Penn. There's no way this is true.
Yes, and I feel terrible that she's been subjected to this. Honestly, I wish I could have said something sooner. And I think the only people other than me who can address it are other people in my family, and I look forward to hearing their response to that question.
How do you know it's true?
I trust my sources.
Is Joe Shapiro still alive?
That I don't know. I have no idea.
Have you ever met Joe Shapiro?
I have not.
So you believe in your sources.
Mm-hmm.
How do your sources know?
They were alive at the time, so they have firsthand knowledge of this.
And you believe other members of your family also know this is true?
Yes,
White House says it's an absurd falsehood.
of course they would.
Can you prove it's true?
Can I prove? No, because I'm counting on people I trust who told me this story. So in terms of documentation, no, I can't prove it, but I can certainly say with 100% certainty that I was told this story by a source very close to Donald.
Election night 2016, I think you tweeted out, it's the worst night of my life.
One of them, yeah.
One of the worst nights of my life. Then why go to the White House in April 2017?
I had been on the outside of this family for a really long time. And after my cousin Ivanka's wedding, which for reasons I still don't understand, I was invited to, my Aunt Marianne and I started talking. And we developed a relationship which we'd never had before, quite honestly. And it mattered to me, you know, it was the first time I'd felt part of the family since I was a kid. And somehow it was very easy for me to put aside all of the things that had happened previous to that. When I got invited to her birthday party, I felt that I should go.
You go, you see the president in the Oval Office, and you tell him, don't let them get you down. Did you mean that?
I did, actually. That was 4 months in. He already seemed very strained by the pressures. I didn't mean I want you to keep doing what you're doing and get away with it, and also so much of what has happened since then hadn't yet happened. And I thought his response was actually more enlightening than my statement. And he said, they won't get me. And so far, looks like he's right.
And if you're in the Oval Office today, what would you say to him?
Resign.
It all begins with your grandfather.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
You say he's a sociopath.
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
He had no empathy. He was incredibly driven in a way that turned other people, including his children, his wife, into pawns to be used to his own ends. If somebody could be of service to him, then he would use them. If they couldn't be, he excised them. And in my father's case, tragically, he was not of use.
You're right. Donald, following the lead of my grandfather, and with the complicity, silence, and inaction of his siblings, destroyed my father.
Yeah, that was hard to write. Much harder to witness.
You say that was a hard sentence to write. I left out the next sentence.
Okay.
I can't let him destroy my country.
Yes. That sounds pretty arrogant, so let me explain what I mean. I feel, as I write in the book, that there are so many parallels between the circumstances in which my family operated and in which this country is now operating. I saw firsthand what focusing on the wrong things, elevating the wrong people can do, the collateral damage that can be created by allowing somebody to live their lives without accountability. If I can do anything to change the narrative and to tell the truth, I need to do that, because I don't believe the American people had the entire truth 4 years ago.
Why didn't you write the book 4 years ago?
I thought long and hard about saying something. I knew that if I had said anything, I would have been painted as a disgruntled, disinherited niece who just wanted her 15 minutes, which obviously is still being said about me now.
That's exactly what the White House says. They say it's a book of falsehoods, that you're writing out of financial self-interest. Basically, you're lying for money.
If I had wanted money or revenge, I would have done this 10 years ago when it was infinitely safer. But neither one of those things interested me.
You do write that he once had a spark of kindness.
Yeah. I think he did. One of the unforgivable things my grandfather did to Donald was he severely restricted the range of human emotion that was accessible to him, which makes it incredibly...
What does that mean?
It means that certain feelings were not allowed.
Like?
Sadness, the impulse to be kind, the impulse to be generous, those things that my grandfather found superfluous, unmanly.
Your father got very ill, deathly ill, and you get a phone call from your grandfather.
I remember that conversation verbatim. My grandfather got on the phone. He said, "Your dad's sick." I'm like, oh, is it serious? "Oh, he's in the hospital, but it's not serious." Okay, but you know, why am I calling you at 10 o'clock on a Saturday night if it's not serious? I was thinking to myself. So I said, well, is it his heart? Because he had had open heart surgery 3 years earlier at the age of 39. And he said, yes, it's his heart. And I said, well, then it is serious. Yes, it's serious, but don't worry about it. Call your mother in the morning. And as I found out 2 minutes later, when I called my mother to find out what was going on, my father had died 2 hours earlier.
More or less alone.
Completely alone. Obviously with strangers surrounding him, but no family.